AITA for my cousin hijacking my birthday and gaslighting me? My name is Elena, and honestly, I still feel embarrassed that something this small turned into something this big. I keep replaying the whole thing in my head, and every time I do, it gets more frustrating. Because it didn't have to be dramatic. It didn't have to become a full family disaster. It was supposed to be one thing. A birthday. A calm one. Just mine. For context, my cousin Milani and I are only a year apart, and ever since we were kids, she has always done this thing. It's like she has this radar that goes off anytime I'm doing something, and she suddenly needs to do it too. Except bigger, louder, flashier. When I was little, I used to think it meant she liked my ideas. But the older we got, the more it felt like she wanted to erase them and put her own name on top. Still, I tried to ignore it. I really did. But this year tested every bit of patience I had. My friends planned a small dinner at this quiet restaurant I love. Nothing fancy, just a table for 8. My siblings, a few close friends, and my partner Watson. We weren't trying to make a big thing out of it. I really just wanted to relax and enjoy the night. I posted one picture on my story, just a photo of the menu and my drink. That was it. Not even an hour later, Milani suddenly posted this huge announcement about her pre-birthday celebration. Same day, same restaurant, over 30 people, bright graphics, balloons in the background, the whole thing looking like an event she'd been planning for weeks. Except she hadn't. When she walked in that night, it was almost surreal. Her group showed up like they were entering a music video, loud, laughing, calling her name, holding decorations, instantly rearranging tables. People were staring. Staff were scrambling. It felt like the restaurant had been hijacked by a parade I didn't sign up for. And then her friends went to the staff and loudly said, "She's the birthday girl tonight. Make sure she gets the big celebration." My table, which had been seated first, was suddenly treated like background noise. Our server barely looked at us. I literally had to wave twice just to get water refilled. What made it worse was the way Milani kept glancing over at me. Not accidentally, not casually. It was the kind of look that said, "Yes, I saw your little dinner. Now watch this." But the part that really twisted my stomach happened when I got up to go to the restroom. I walked past her group and heard her say, in that voice people use when they want everyone around them to hear, "Yeah, Elena moved her dinner to match mine. I guess she wants people to think we're doing a joint thing again. It's kinda cute. She tries." I stopped walking for a second. I felt my face burn. I knew exactly what she was doing. Flipping the story so she looked like the original one and I looked like the copy. I waited for her in the hallway outside the restroom and confronted her. I kept my voice steady, even though my heart was beating fast. "Milani, you copied my plans, took over my night, and then told people I copied you." She didn't look embarrassed. She didn't even hesitate. She just blinked once and said, almost bored, "You're being dramatic. My birthday means more because more people show up." I stared at her. I didn't even know what to say to that. She walked past me with this proud little smile like she'd just delivered some kind of mic drop. The rest of the night felt wrong. Every time her group cheered, I felt my stomach twist. Every time someone from her table came near ours, they'd look at us like we were in the way. At one point, one of her friends actually asked if our table could move over a little so they'd have more space for photos. I said, "No, this is our reservation," and she rolled her eyes at me like I was the problem. When the bill came, our server practically sprinted back to her group to join their happy birthday chant, and my table just sort of sat there awkwardly. Even Watson was tense, and he is usually the calmest person in the world. Later that night, I got a message from my aunt saying I ruined the atmosphere and shouldn't have confronted Milani on her special night. My mom told me she stayed out of it, but then added that I could have ignored it. Ignore what? My own birthday disappearing? The next day, I woke up to messages from people who'd been at the restaurant, some defending me, some questioning me, some asking what happened. Milani had posted these passive, aggressive story circles talking about jealous relatives who can't let others shine. People instantly assumed she meant me. I started getting tagged in comments. A few of Milani's friends posted things calling me attention-seeking and annoying. One even wrote that I ruined the vibe for 30 people just because I didn't have as many friends. That one hit harder than I want to admit. I called my cousin Hannah to vent, and she said Milani had actually been bragging that she took over Elena's birthday and made it better. Then she asked me why I didn't expect this from her by now. That answered nothing. That helped nothing. And it made me feel stupid for thinking Milani might grow out of this behavior someday. A few days later, everything exploded again when the family got together for dinner. Not a special event, just a regular gathering. Milani was already there when I arrived. The moment she saw me, she smirked and said loudly, "Oh, Elena came. I guess we should try not to overshadow anything tonight." Her Her whole table laughed. I snapped. I didn't yell immediately, but my tone was sharp. Maybe you wouldn't overshadow things if you stopped copying everything I do. She whipped around like she'd been slapped. What did you say? You heard me. Her face went red and she started raising her voice, saying I was jealous, obsessed, and pathetic for making a normal dinner into a fight. People turned to stare. I told her flat out, you ruined my birthday on purpose, and you know it. You didn't even try to hide it. She got louder. No one cares about your birthday, Elena. You make everything dramatic. My chest felt tight. My hands were shaking. I could hear my uncle whispering that I should stop taking things so personally. Someone else muttered, Elena always brings drama. And something in me broke. I yelled back, not screaming, not out of control, but loud enough that everyone heard. If defending myself makes me dramatic, then fine, I'll be dramatic. But I won't let you lie about me anymore. The room went silent. Milani shouted something back. Something about how I couldn't handle that she was more popular. I don't remember all of it because my adrenaline was too high, but I know I fired right back at her. I told her she was insecure, she was competitive, and she was pretending to be superior because she couldn't stand not having the spotlight. She screamed that I ruined the family dinner. I told her she ruined the birthday dinner first. People started shouting at both of us. Some defended her. Some defended me. Some told us to calm down. Someone told me I needed to let things go. Someone told her she was too much. I left before it could get worse. Watson followed me out. I cried in the car. He kept telling me I did nothing wrong, but I still felt sick. And now I'm here because I genuinely don't know anymore. Was I wrong? Was I petty? Was I dramatic? I honestly can't tell if I overreacted or if I finally reacted after years of holding everything in. Update 1: Things only got worse after my birthday disaster. I tried to tell myself to let it go, that maybe I was overreacting, that maybe Milani hadn't meant it as maliciously as it felt. I told myself, just ignore it, move on. I even tried blocking her updates for a few hours. But ignoring Milani has never worked, and this time it blew up in my face. She posted this long, dramatic post on social media. I only saw the notification when Hannah texted me. Elena, she's at it again. The post was subtle, but sharp. Some relatives get jealous when others get attention. It's sad, really. I just want everyone to be happy, but some people can't handle that. She didn't tag me, didn't use my name, she didn't need to. Everyone who knew the situation knew exactly who she was talking about. Within minutes, I started getting messages. Some were supportive, telling me she was clearly gaslighting and that I had done nothing wrong. But others? Oh, the others tore me apart. Why are you always making this a big deal? Stop embarrassing Milani. You're too dramatic. You can't take a joke? You're just jealous because she's more popular. I read the first few, clenched my phone so hard my knuckles turned white, and felt this surge of anger rise like a wave threatening to drown me. It wasn't just that Milani had done this. It was that everyone seemed to think I was overreacting. Then Hannah sent me a private message. I'll never forget the words. Elena, she said she took over your birthday on purpose. She told me she wanted to finally shut you down and prove who the favorite is. I felt my chest tighten. My hands were shaking. My stomach churned. I had suspected it, but hearing it straight from someone who wasn't biased, it felt like a punch. My frustration and hurt suddenly sharpened into something hotter. Anger, rage, determination. I started screenshotting all the private messages I had received, both the ones defending me and the ones insulting me. Then I sat down and wrote a long, careful post explaining everything. Not accusatory, not yelling, just a calm, detailed account of exactly what happened on my birthday, exactly what Milani had done, exactly how it made me feel, and exactly what people witnessed. The comments section exploded. People who had been on her side started questioning her. People who had assumed I was dramatic began asking clarifying questions. Some distant cousins, who normally stayed out of family drama, jumped in to confirm that yes, Milani had shown up with a huge entourage. Yes, she had hijacked my night. Yes, she had told others that I was the one trying to copy her. For the first time in years, I felt like someone else saw the situation the way I did. But it didn't stop Milani, not even close. That evening, she sent me a message. It was long, full of dramatic words, almost theatrical. You are attacking me. You're trying to ruin my reputation with the family. I can't believe you would be so petty. I thought you were better than this, but I see who you really are. I typed back slowly, making sure every word carried the weight of my frustration. No, I am protecting mine. You are the one who chose to take over my birthday, to humiliate me in front of everyone, to twist the story so it looks like I'm the one who copied you. I will not let that stand. I will not apologize for defending myself. I left her on read after that, but it didn't end. The notifications didn't stop. People from both sides of the family started messaging me. Some told me I was too sensitive, selfish, dramatic. Some told me I was rude and overreacting and that I should stop trying to start a fight with Milani. I fired back. Not nice, not polite. I typed in all caps at one point. Stop turning this on me. I am not overreacting. I am not jealous. I am not selfish. I am defending my peace. If you think I am the problem, look at the facts. Look at what she did. The messages went on for hours. Milani posted more subtle digs online, and some family members texted me as if she was the victim. One cousin, Violetta, actually wrote, "Honestly, Elena, can't you just let this go? It's her birthday season. Stop making everything about you." I snapped. I don't think I've ever yelled at someone through text before, but that night I did. I have tried letting this go. I have held back. She took over my birthday. She mocked me. She lied about me. And now you all are telling me to ignore it? Ignore what? Ignore my own life being taken over by someone else. The messages pinged and pinged. Some people called me crazy. Others tried to calm me down. Some texted just to insult me again. I fired back at them too. Every time someone called me dramatic, I typed back that I was not. Every time someone told me I was overreacting, I reminded them that this wasn't over something small. It was over months of manipulation, copying, and humiliation. By midnight, Watson was still beside me, holding my hand, telling me to breathe. I showed him screenshots of the messages. He didn't argue. He just let me vent, let me yell, let me be frustrated, and reminded me that my feelings were valid. I looked at my phone, and I swear, the messages were endless. Cousins, aunts, even a few friends of Milani's distant relatives. They all weighed in, and every single one of them seemed to have a strong opinion about me, the supposed problem in this situation. I had no words left except to type, "I am done being gaslit. I am done being told this is my fault. I am done being made to feel small for having feelings and standing up for myself. I will not let Milani and anyone else rewrite reality." By the time I finally put my phone down, my hands were sore, my voice was hoarse from typing, and my chest hurt. I couldn't eat. I couldn't focus. I couldn't even watch TV without thinking of the texts and posts, the whispers, the sideways glances. It wasn't just Milani. It was everyone siding with her, minimizing me, calling me dramatic while she got to keep doing exactly what she wanted. I don't know how much longer I can handle this. I'm exhausted. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. And yet, somehow, this isn't even over. Update 2. I wish I could say things had calmed down, but that's never how it goes with Milani. The whole thing blew up again at our grandmother's anniversary gathering. I thought it would be quiet, just family catching up. I told myself I'd stay calm, keep my head down, and avoid any drama. I came with Watson, determined to act like nothing had happened. But the second I walked in, I felt it. The looks, the small, tight whispers. Conversations paused when I passed. People glanced at Milani, then at me, like they were waiting for the first spark. I felt my chest tighten, my stomach knot up. Every step felt heavier than the last. And then I saw her, Milani, standing with a small circle of cousins and relatives around her. She looked at me, her smile just a little too sharp, her tone just loud enough for people nearby to hear. "Oh, Elena's here. I hope this evening doesn't get derailed." I froze for a second, my stomach dropping. It was deliberate. Everyone around us heard it. My hands gripped Watson's under the table. I could feel him squeezing mine, trying to calm me, but it didn't help much. She didn't stop there. As we sat down, she made sure to position herself so she was always near me. Every time someone said something to me, complimented me, or even just smiled at me, she muttered comments under her breath, loud enough for me to hear. "She thinks she owns the room. Let's see how long the good mood lasts." Some people just can't handle attention being taken from them. I clenched my fists, my chest burning. My heart was pounding, my ears ringing. I wanted to scream, to make her understand even a fraction of how anxious she made me feel. But I tried to keep control, to stay composed. Then came the toast. She looked right at me, voice dripping with mockery, and said loud enough for the nearest relatives, "You always have to be the center of attention, don't you? Some people just can't handle when others do better." Everyone turned, all eyes on me. My stomach twisted, my throat tightened. The room felt smaller, air heavier. I couldn't stay silent any longer. I stood up, my voice shaking but loud enough to cut through the room. "Milani, you've spent weeks turning everything into a contest. I am done being polite. Stop dragging my name into every conversation. You ruined my birthday on purpose, and now you're trying to ruin this event too." She shot up, glaring, leaning toward me. "You're the one causing a scene. You think everyone cares about your feelings, but you never think about anyone else." I could feel my face flush. My heart was pounding in my ears. "You've insulted me at every family gathering since this started." I yelled. "You mock me online, talk behind my back, and tell people I chase your spotlight. You're not the victim here." She took a step closer, voice low and cutting. "You just want pity. That's all this is. Pity." I yelled back, hoarse. "No, I want peace. And you don't let anyone have that." The room erupted. Voices overlap, people yelling, pointing, arguing. Some tried to calm things down. Others picked sides immediately. You're so dramatic. She's too sensitive. Milani can't stop herself from controlling everything. You're embarrassing all of us. She's making everything about herself again. Milani, you're obsessed. I couldn't process it all. I shouted over the chaos. Enough, Milani. You have treated me like your competition since we were kids. I never asked for this. I will not be used as your punching bag anymore. Stop twisting reality. Stop dragging me into your obsession with being better than me. She froze, whispering, you're trying to humiliate me. I met her eyes, calm but cutting. You're doing that on your own. I grabbed my coat. Watson followed silently. Behind us, the chaos continued. Cousins arguing, aunts shaking their heads. Whispers of she's crazy and she went too far, mingling with Milani is insane and enough is enough. I could hear Violetta quietly defending me, explaining to others that Milani couldn't leave anything alone, that she had made every event a battlefield. That night, Milani bombarded my phone. Long, furious messages. She said I had destroyed the family vibe, humiliated her in front of everyone, and made everyone uncomfortable. I stared at the messages, hands trembling. Then I typed slowly, deliberately. I didn't humiliate you. I told the truth. I will not apologize. Her reply came instantly. Everyone is sick of your attitude. I typed back, steady. Then stop provoking me. And then nothing. But it didn't feel calm. Not really. It felt like the silence before the next explosion. The tension lingered thick in my chest. I knew deep down this wasn't over. Not with Milani involved. Not with family watching every move. And not with Watson trying to keep me steady. I had survived the chaos that night, but the emotional weight stayed. Every replay in my mind made my chest tighten. Every notification from family members reminded me that this wasn't just about one night. It was about months of manipulation, whispers, and obsession. And I knew it was far from finished. Update 3. After the chaos at our grandmother's anniversary, I spent weeks trying to avoid Milani as much as possible. I ignored her texts, stayed glued to Watson whenever family gatherings happened, and tried to keep calm in public. Every glance from her at family dinners, every passive-aggressive comment online, every small jab in passing. It felt like living in a constant state of tension. I was exhausted. My chest would tighten at the thought of seeing her. I barely slept some nights, replaying every insult, every comment, every little humiliation over and over in my head. Something had to change. A few weeks later, my grandmother called. She wanted a private conversation. Just her, Milani, and me. No decorations, no photos, no one else. She told me she wanted us to speak honestly, face to face, and finally air everything out. I almost refused. The idea of sitting in a room with Milani after everything made me feel queasy. But I agreed, hoping that maybe this could finally end the months of chaos. When I arrived, the room was quiet and bare. A few chairs in a loose circle, just enough to sit. Milani was already there, sitting stiffly, hands folded tightly in her lap. Her eyes flicked to me repeatedly, and I could see her jaw tighten each time. Watson stayed close, placing a hand gently on my back, his calm presence steadying me. I drew in a deep breath, trying to center myself. Grandmother began softly. I want both of you to speak openly. No interruptions, no yelling, no judging, just honesty. Say what you feel, and let the other person listen. Milani went first. Her voice was quiet, almost shaking, and she avoided meeting my eyes at first. I know I've been competitive with you for years, Elena, she said slowly. I wanted to be noticed. I wanted to prove I could do everything you did, but better. I thought it was harmless fun. I didn't realize how much I hurt you. I didn't mean for this to spiral like it has. I didn't see it from your side. I thought you'd just shrug it off. I see now. I was wrong. Her hands shook slightly as she spoke. I could feel the weight behind her words. For the first time in months, I saw her as a person rather than a constant source of conflict. I took a steadying breath. Milani, I never wanted to compete with you, I said. I just wanted space. Space to enjoy my life, my birthdays, my celebrations, without being constantly undermined or mocked. I never asked for attention. I never wanted a rivalry. But when you copied my plans, hijacked my birthday, and told people I was trying to copy you, it hurt. It made me feel like I couldn't even enjoy my own life. I'm exhausted from defending myself constantly. I just want peace. There was silence, real silence. For once, no whispers, no sideways glances, no passive aggression, just the weight of our words. Grandmother leaned forward. You've both been hurting each other and everyone around you for too long. You need boundaries, clear boundaries, not because anyone dislikes the other, but because you need peace. Milani exhaled slowly. I understand, she said softly. I will try to stop. I will stop dragging your name into things. I won't post about your celebrations. I won't compete or mock you. I just want this to end. I nodded. I can agree to that, I said, trying to keep my voice calm, though I could feel the tension draining out of me. I just need the same from you. No more social media posts about each other. No more more comments at family gatherings, no comparisons, no competitions. If we interact, we keep it polite but neutral. That's all I'm asking. We spent the next hour going through specifics, family gatherings, online posts, interactions with mutual friends. Everything had to be spelled out clearly. No yelling, no sarcasm, no undermining. By the end, we weren't best friends. We weren't laughing and hugging like nothing had ever happened, but there was a fragile truce. A sense of relief I hadn't felt in months. When I left, Watson took my hand in his. "You okay?" he asked softly. "For the first time in months, I think I am," I admitted. "I can breathe again." Milani stayed behind with grandmother, quietly talking. I didn't know if she had truly changed or if this truce would last, but I knew one thing for certain. The constant chaos, the verbal attacks, the public humiliation, it was over. At least for now. The end. After examining this saga of birthday burglary, spotlight snatching, and cousin chaos, my brain produced one crystal-clear conclusion. You walked into a cheerful dinner, and Milani arrived like a confetti tornado wearing jealousy as perfume. My insight: your cousin behaves like a malfunctioning GPS, constantly rerouting herself to your lane, then honking like you're the problem. My suggestion: install emotional airbags. She keeps crashing into your peace. My joke: Milani treats your milestones like buffet items. She piles them on her plate, then complains yours looks empty. Verdict: not AITA. You simply defended your celebration from a rival who thinks sharing means stealing and spray painting her name on top. Before we jump into the next story, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know your favorite part in the comments. AITA for exploding after my family tried to force me into cosmetic surgery? My name is Haley. I'm 27, and honestly, I've been feeling completely exhausted over the past few weeks. This started with something that seemed small, a casual comment, almost invisible, but it quickly escalated into something I didn't expect. Constant judgment, nonstop comments about my appearance, and feeling like I had no control over my own body and my family. It began at a weekend brunch. My Aunt Caroline glanced at me across the table, smiling, and said, "You know, your cheekbones would really pop if you did a little filler." I laughed nervously and tried to brush it off. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was harmless. Then my mom, Dorothy, jumped in, casually mentioning that her friend had connections at a cosmetic clinic and could get me a consultation at a discount. She said it like it was a normal suggestion, like she was offering me a slice of cake. I tried to explain that I wasn't interested, but she waved it off. "It's just to explore your options," she said. That should have been it. That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. Over the next few days, my younger sister, Layla, started sending me links to cosmetic procedures. She captioned them with things like, "This could make such a difference for you," or "Imagine this on you." I tried to ignore the messages, but they kept coming, sometimes multiple in one day. Then my cousin Milana started tagging me in TikTok videos. She would send me screenshots with text like, "You'd look amazing like this," or "So pretty if you just tried a little tweak here." And every time I didn't respond, they would ping me again, sometimes asking if I was seriously ignoring helpful advice. It felt like I was under a microscope. At a family picnic last weekend, things got worse. My uncle Silas, who usually doesn't comment on anything personal, made a loud joke across the table. "Better get that nose touched up before it's too late." Everyone laughed. I felt frozen. I tried to smile, tried to laugh along, but inside, I felt like they were tearing me apart piece by piece in front of everyone. I didn't say anything. I wanted to avoid confrontation. I thought maybe it would blow over, but it didn't. The breaking point came when my mom booked a consultation for me without asking. She told me it was just to explore options. I firmly said, "No, I am not going." She got upset, pouted, and said, "I'm just trying to help. You'll thank me later." Her tone implied that if I refused, I was ungrateful, foolish, or wrong. I felt violated. The next family gathering was supposed to be casual, but it quickly became unbearable. Dorothy, Caroline, Layla, Milana, and even some distant relatives all had something to say. They commented loudly about my chin, my lips, my eyelids, minor fat reduction suggestions. Everyone joined in. It felt like a performance, a public critique session I hadn't agreed to. Finally, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I told them, "You are being cruel. This obsession with my appearance isn't helpful. It's disrespectful. Your comments are not improving anything. They're hurting me more than any imagined flaw ever could." Dorothy started crying. Caroline accused me of being ungrateful. Layla said I was insecure and projecting, and Milana rolled her eyes. Some distant relatives whispered and smirked, as if they were enjoying the spectacle. I felt trapped. I tried to explain calmly, but every sentence I spoke was interrupted by someone else chiming in with their opinion. Then it turned into yelling. Caroline Caroline yelled. You think you know better than everyone. Everyone is just trying to help, and you act like we're the problem. I yelled back. I don't need your help. Stop treating me like I'm broken or incomplete. I am tired of being judged at every family event. Dorothy sobbed and said, You're so ungrateful, Haley. All we wanted was for you to be happy. I snapped at her. Happy? Do you think I feel happy when everyone I love treats me like a checklist of flaws? Layla shouted. You're just insecure. You think we're attacking you, but you're the one imagining everything. I shot back. Imagining? I am staring at this madness with my own eyes. You're sending me messages, tagging me in videos, making jokes at every event. This isn't imagination. It's constant harassment. Milana rolled her eyes and muttered. She's so dramatic, always making things about herself. I pointed at her and yelled, Dramatic? You are one of the people fueling this. You tag me, you comment, you make me the butt of your jokes. Don't you dare call me dramatic. The whole room erupted. Voices overlapping. People yelling. Some defending me, others defending Caroline, Dorothy, or Layla. Some people were walking out. Some stayed just to watch the chaos. My chest felt like it was going to burst from adrenaline and frustration. Even Silas tried to step in, saying, Haley, maybe you should calm down. You're making this worse. I glared at him. Calm down? I've been holding in weeks of being belittled, insulted, and micromanaged about my own body. You don't get to tell me to calm down. It went on for hours, with arguments overlapping, tears, insults, and gaslighting. Some people whispered behind my back. Some sent me messages while I was still at the gathering, saying I was overreacting. I sent back messages firmly, explaining how violated I felt, how exhausted I was, how this constant pressure was unacceptable. By the end of the evening, I left feeling completely drained. My partner Alden stayed calm beside me, offering quiet support. I wanted to yell, but my voice was raw. I wanted to hit back at every insult, but I knew it would only escalate. I came home and sat with my phone, reading messages from family members accusing me of being dramatic, ungrateful, impossible to please. I typed replies, screenshot messages, and kept a detailed record of everything. I refused to back down, but I also knew this fight would continue. Update 1. Things didn't get better after my last confrontation. They got worse, and honestly, I didn't know how I was going to handle it. A few days after the family gathering, I noticed that my Aunt Caroline had posted a long rant on her Facebook story. She didn't mention me directly, but anyone paying attention would know who she meant. It was full of phrases like, some relatives just can't take guidance. Some people are too sensitive to constructive advice. It's frustrating when people reject help out of stubbornness. Every word felt like a dagger aimed straight at me. Within an hour, my phone started buzzing. I got messages from cousins, some of them neutral, some clearly defending me, and some outright accusing me of overreacting. One cousin, who I rarely speak to, sent a voice note that basically said, Why are you making such a big deal? It's just advice. Stop being dramatic. I felt my chest tighten, my hands shaking. Advice? Was it advice to literally manipulate my body against my will? Then, out of nowhere, my younger cousin Milana messaged me privately. I froze before opening it. She typed, Aunt Caroline was so proud. She said she finally got you to break, and Dorothy keeps saying she'll thank me later when she sees the results. I couldn't believe it. My blood boiled. I stared at my phone, gripping it so hard it almost hurt. I felt cornered, exposed, and humiliated. I realized I couldn't just sit silently anymore. I opened the family WhatsApp group and typed a message. I tried to keep my voice calm in words, but the words carried fire. I need to say something because this has gone way too far. Over the past weeks, everyone has been sending me videos, links, and messages pressuring me to change my face. Comments about my chin, my nose, my lips. Even private suggestions have been made to me without consent. I do not consent. This is not helpful. This is harassment. Being told what to do with my own body by family members I love is cruel, disrespectful, and exhausting. I will not allow it anymore. I hesitated for a second, then hit send. Almost immediately, the chat exploded. Notifications popped up like fireworks. Some people backed me up. Finally, someone is saying what we all thought. Others attacked me. You're being ridiculous. Everyone was just trying to help. Stop shaming the family like this, Haley. Then Caroline started messaging me privately, barrage after barrage. You have no idea how disrespectful you are. You embarrassed me in front of everyone. You've made this all about yourself, as usual. I felt my stomach drop, but I refused to back down. I typed back carefully but firmly. I am not attacking anyone. I am protecting myself. This is about boundaries, which apparently you all refuse to respect. She left me on read, but it didn't end there. The tension crackled in the group chat for days. Every new emoji, every like, every Every one-word response felt like another arrow aimed at me. Then Layla chimed in. Haley, stop being so dramatic. Everyone's just trying to help. Why do you make everything a battle? I snapped back, typing in all caps for the first time in my life. Help? You call constant pressure, tagging me in videos, mocking me at family events, and booking appointments without asking help? You all crossed the line. Stop gaslighting me. Milana joined in privately again. You're blowing this out of proportion. People just care about how you look. I couldn't take it. I yelled back over WhatsApp voice note. Care about how I look? No. You care about controlling me. You can call it care, you can call it help, but it's not. And it ends now. The family group chat turned into a battlefield. Some cousins tried to mediate, saying things like, let's all calm down, no need to fight. I yelled back, again, via voice note, calm down? I've been calm while being harassed for weeks. I will not sit quietly while this continues. Dorothy texted me angrily. You're hurting everyone. Everyone's upset at your attitude. I replied, teeth gritted, I'm not hurting anyone. I'm defending myself. You all made this about control and perfection, not love. Stop pretending otherwise. For hours, the messages continued. Caroline sent multiple long paragraphs about how I was overreacting. Layla accused me of being sensitive, and Milana implied I was ungrateful. I answered each, calmly at first, but my messages became more heated as they continued. Every insult I received, I countered, pointing out exactly how their words and actions were harmful. I felt cornered, exhausted, angry. The mental weight was suffocating. Every ping, every notification felt like someone was poking at a bruise that would never heal. And yet, I refused to apologize. I refused to let them rewrite the story to make me the villain. By the end of that week, I was emotionally drained. I had screenshots of every message, screenshots of every comment, every tagged video, every attempt to guilt me into something I didn't want. I felt like I had been in a war, and every day another wave of attacks came. Even Alden, my partner, kept telling me to rest, to step away, but how could I? How could I step away when my own family had made my life a battlefield, texting, messaging, tagging, criticizing, and laughing while pretending it was help and advice? I had no peace. Not at brunches, not at picnics, not on WhatsApp, not anywhere. Every day felt like surviving a minefield of words, and I could feel the anger and frustration coiling inside me like a spring. I didn't know how long I could hold on, but I knew one thing. I wouldn't let them control me, and I wouldn't let them pretend that this wasn't happening. And the more they attacked, the louder I spoke back. This is where I am now, 2 weeks after the first confrontation. Exhausted, angry, and more determined than ever to defend my boundaries. The war isn't over. I don't know when it will end, but I will not back down. Update 2. A month later, things finally reached a boiling point, and it happened at my cousin Layla's birthday party. I arrived with Alden, hoping for a quiet evening. I really tried to put everything aside and just enjoy the celebration. I wanted to pretend like the past weeks hadn't happened, but the moment I walked in, I could feel the weight of every single eye on me. Whispers started almost instantly as I passed. Some people smiled politely, some smirked, and some avoided my gaze completely. The tension was suffocating. And then I saw Caroline. She was at the center of a group, laughing with her friends. But the moment she noticed me, her smile became sharp, deliberate. She looked over her shoulder and loud enough for the nearby family to hear. She said, "Oh, Haley made it. Hope you're not here to ruin the vibe." I froze for a fraction of a second. It was a jab, a carefully calculated one. My chest tightened, and I could feel my fists clench under the table before I even sat down. I tried to breathe, to calm myself, but the tension in my chest made it nearly impossible. Throughout the party, Caroline didn't stop. Every time I passed her, she leaned close and muttered things under her breath just loud enough for me to hear. Must be nice pretending everything's fine. Let's see how long that mood lasts. She's always so sensitive, isn't she? I could feel my face burning. My heart was racing, my hands trembling. I tried to ignore her, telling myself not to give her the satisfaction. But I couldn't. I couldn't ignore the way she dragged my name through every conversation, the way her smirk followed me across the room. During the toast, she called me out in front of everyone. Some people just can't handle it when others get attention. Every head turned. Every eye in the room locked on me. I felt my entire body trembling, and something inside me snapped. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. I raised my voice, making sure everyone could hear. "Caroline, this stops now. You've spent weeks turning every family event into a contest. I will not sit quietly while you drag my name into every conversation. You hijacked my birthday, mocked me online, and made every gathering unbearable. I am done being polite." The room erupted, voices overlapping, cousins defending me, others defending Caroline, people yelling, pointing fingers fingers, some storming out, some staying to watch the spectacle. The tension was so thick I could barely breathe. Alden stayed calm beside me, whispering, "Just breathe. You're okay. You're standing your ground." But standing my ground wasn't easy. Caroline, face red and jaw tight, stepped forward and yelled, "You're making this all about yourself? Everyone is tired of your attitude." I shot back, my voice echoing, "I have every right to defend myself. I will not be bullied into changing my body because of your obsession with control. Stop pretending this is about anyone but you." Then Uncle Silas stepped in, trying to calm the situation, but I wasn't done. "You are not helping. You're just enabling her," I yelled. Milana, my cousin, jumped in. "Haley is right. You crossed the line, Caroline. You always do this." Caroline snapped at Milana. "Oh, please. You always defend her because you don't want to face the truth." I couldn't help myself. I yelled, "The truth is, you have harassed me for weeks. You've mocked me, and you've dragged my mental health through the mud. Stop pretending I'm the villain here." Voices layered over each other. People yelling, crying, pointing fingers, some leaving the room. Cousins and distant relatives were debating, arguing, some taking my side, some Caroline's. Layla tried to act like she didn't want to be involved, but I could hear her whispering to friends, adding her own snide remarks. Then Dorothy, my mom, sent me a barrage of WhatsApp messages. "Haley, you humiliated the whole family. You can't behave like this. Everyone is upset with you." I typed back slowly, each word deliberate. "I didn't humiliate anyone. I stood up for myself. I will not apologize for protecting my mental health and my body." Caroline didn't stop there. After the party, she sent me an endless stream of messages, screenshots from the family chat, screenshots of her posts, accusations that I was ruining the family, being dramatic and embarrassing everyone. I read every word. I didn't respond immediately. Then I typed back, carefully, my fingers trembling with adrenaline. "I am not ruining anything. I am claiming my boundaries. Every insult, every push to manipulate me, every comment about my appearance is what's ruining the family. Stop pretending this is about anyone but you." Even after that, the group chat remained a war zone for days. Notifications kept coming. Every emoji, every reaction, every one-word message felt like a spark thrown at a powder keg. I refused to apologize. I refused to let them spin the story to make me look bad. Every attack I received, I countered calmly at first, but eventually more heated as the barrage continued. By the end of that week, I was exhausted. My phone constantly pinged with new comments, private messages, voice notes from Caroline, snide texts from Layla, defensive rants from Milana. Every message reminded me that they weren't done. They weren't even close to being done. Alden stayed by my side, offering support, but even he admitted that the emotional toll was staggering. Every day felt like walking through a storm of words, judgment, and criticism. Every family event felt like a battlefield. Every notification felt like a new attack. I was drained, furious, and frustrated beyond belief. But I also knew one thing. I would not back down. I would not give in. I would not let them manipulate me, belittle me, or rewrite the story of what happened. And that's where things stand now, 1 month later. Tensions are higher than ever. The fights are no longer private. The family knows exactly where I stand. I've drawn a line. They can either respect it or continue the conflict. I have no doubt the battle isn't over, and I have no idea how long it will last. But I know I will not let them control me anymore. Update 3. It took months, but things finally started to settle. I won't lie, this last part was exhausting, emotionally draining, and completely overwhelming at times. The fights hadn't stopped immediately after Layla's party. Caroline, Dorothy, Milana, and even Layla continued to send messages, passive-aggressive comments in the family group chat, and subtle digs whenever I tried to participate in anything remotely family-related. For a while, I considered just completely stepping back from everyone, but Alden convinced me that boundaries were stronger than avoidance. So I began a strict, careful approach. I muted the family group chat, responded only when necessary, and started sending clear messages individually when someone crossed the line. I made it absolutely clear, no unsolicited advice, no comments on my appearance, and no judgment. Caroline was the hardest. She tried multiple times to provoke me, sending long Facebook messages about how family is supposed to guide each other and how I was being dramatic. I responded once, firmly, with no anger, only clarity. Caroline, I hear you, but I will not engage in debates about my body. Any further comments about my appearance, cosmetic procedures, or behavior will not get a response. I'm drawing the line here. It was a turning point. For the first week, she fired back with more messages, but I refused to respond. Eventually, the messages stopped. Dorothy softened too, slowly. At first, she tried to justify everything, saying she just wanted the best for me. But after seeing I would not budge, she eventually admitted privately that she went too far and that she hadn't realized how much much pressure she was putting on me. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. Layla and Milana were tricky. They'd occasionally throw little jabs or make comments in front of others. But once I started addressing it immediately and calmly, the behavior lessened. I began responding to small attacks with a single sentence. That comment isn't okay. Please don't say things like that again. Over time, everyone understood that I wasn't going to engage in drama anymore. The group chat slowly became calmer. Family events weren't filled with tension about my appearance, and the constant commentary stopped. The end. You're not AITA. Your relatives behaved like a roaming cosmetic sales team that lost its office lease and decided your face was the new headquarters. They tossed advice at you like seagulls flinging snacks at tourists, then acted stunned when you finally shouted, "Stop redecorating my skull." You didn't overreact. You simply installed a boundary firewall after weeks of unsolicited renovation proposals. They weren't helping. They were running a makeover dictatorship. You just staged the revolution. Verdict: not AITA. You're the only one in that whole circus who remembered your body isn't a community project. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Got a story to share? Drop it in the comments and let us know which one was your favorite. If you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely want to check out AITA for snapping after my mom tried to destroy my marriage. Click here to watch it now.